Welcome back. Today in this video I want to share with you about how to set up a small apartment like a bachelor or a studio apartment here in Toronto for about $1,000 and how to plan your budget accordingly so you don't overspend but at the same time get all the functionality that you need. If you're watching this video, then chances are that you just found an apartment, and in that case congratulations, because it's a really hard thing to do here in Toronto. And you are in the process of setting up your apartment and looking for furniture, but you might also be still in process of searching for an apartment, and in that case I would suggest you to first look at my other videos in which I share about how I found an apartment here in Toronto at an affordable price within only 1 month. So let's get started. So when I first moved to Toronto a couple of months ago, I managed to find a bachelor or studio apartment within only 1 month, and it was rather small, around 28 square meters or around 300 square feet big, or maybe I'd rather say small. But the good thing is about having such a small apartment is that you can spend less in order to furnish and equip the whole apartment compared to if you get a larger one. Then most likely you would spend much more on it. So to furnish and equip the whole apartment, I spent around 1,200 Canadian dollars. If you've never lived in your own apartment on your own, I would strongly advise you to budget, because if you don't plan on how much you want to spend on furnishing and equipping your apartment, you could very easily end up spending $3,000, $4,000 of dollars for it. It's very easy to walk into a furniture store and just picking the first thing that you see and you really like, for example, a couch for, let's say, $2,000 or whatever, and then you see a table for $500 and then maybe a bed for $1,000, and before you know it, you're at like $5,000. In the beginning, when you've just moved to a new country, there are so many expenses. So it's a good idea to really spend just the basics in the beginning. I mean, this is in the case if you're on a budget. If you're not on a budget, then this might not be applicable to you. So make sure that you have all the basics in place. And after a while, when you get more familiar with the city, more familiar with your needs, then you can slowly add on the other items that you want to. A really good idea is to budget based on your living space. So before I started shopping to furnish my apartment, I divided my home, my living area, into approximately 4 areas, and I set a budget for each of these areas, and that way I made sure that I didn't overspend. These 4 areas are basically bedroom or sleeping, kitchen, working, and bathroom area. For the bedroom or sleeping area, I spent around $600 on a bed frame, on the mattress, pillows, bed sheets. For the kitchen, I spent about $150 on kitchen utensils, pots and pans, dining ware. And for the working area, I spent $260 on a table, on chairs, and also on blinds to make sure that I could control the amount of sunlight that comes into my apartment. And finally, for the bathroom, I only spent $60 on shower curtains, on towels, and bath mats. I also spent around $80 on equipment and cleaning, because I think that it's really important that if you just move into a new apartment, you really take some time to thoroughly clean the apartment first, especially the bathroom. So you need some basic utensils like a vacuum cleaner and some basic cleaning products. So in total, I spent $1,150 to be exact. And that's actually a small amount of money, but I think that it's really possible to even do with less. So let me know in the comments below if you managed to spend even less in furnishing and equipping your apartment. So as you can see from my budgeting, I spent the most money on the bedroom or sleeping area. And the reason is because we spend hopefully around 8 hours sleeping every day, and it's really important to get quality sleep and to have a good quality mattress. So that's where I wanted to spend most of my money on. And for the kitchen, I didn't spend so much because I'm not really much of a cook. I mean, I cook every day, I make my food at home, but I was happy to just have really the basic things. And I even didn't feel like I really needed a fancy coffee machine in the beginning, although I'm a big coffee drinker. So I was happy just using a coffee filter like this here. So it's really cheap. It costs like only $5 to $10. So I thought that I spent just the basics in the beginning, and later on I can slowly add. I also made a lot of other compromises, such as I decided not to buy a TV because I was happy just watching Netflix on the laptop that I had. And also I only bought one table, so some people maybe feel like they need to have a dining table, a working desk, and perhaps also even a coffee table. But since my apartment was so small, it was sufficient for me to just have one table that would double as a dining and a working table. It was a quite narrow table, and it had foldable legs, so it was really versatile, and I could move it here and there depending on what I needed from it. For example, now when I'm recording my video, I needed more sunlight, so I could easily just move the table closer to my window in order to get that sunlight in. So when you're on a budget, it doesn't mean necessarily that you have to buy crappy stuff. It just means two things. One, don't spend the maximum amount of money on all the things that you want and need. And number two, don't buy all the things that you want and need right now. For example, let's say that there are 50 things that you want for your apartment. Make a plan for it. Don't try to buy everything at once now, because if you buy everything at once now, you'll either overspend or you'll sacrifice on quality and you'll get really crappy stuff. So the way to do it is decide on like 10 or 15 of the most basic things that you need and that are really important to you right now. Buy those things and make a plan on when you want to buy the other things. Let's say the next 10 things you'll buy in the next 2 months, and then the remaining 25 things over the course of the year. So the key here is to simply prioritize what is most important to you, what you need most right now, or what brings the most value to your life right now. Thank you very much for watching. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and also don't forget to subscribe and also hit the little alarm bell so you will get notified if there are new videos. Thank you so much for watching, and see you again soon.